Test, test. Hello, my loves. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome in to this reading for Neptune Retrograde. So, Neptune Retrograde started on June 28th, and this is a cycle that we're going to be in until December 3rd. So it's a long cycle for us, and that's part of what I do with my readings. I like to look at the different cycles that we're in and get advice and guidance for these cycles. So if you're new to my readings, hello and welcome in. And if you're not new, hello and welcome back. There's a couple of recommendations I have for you. You can take them or leave them. I always recommend watching these readings with a journal so you can take notes. I always take notes on what the card came through, how it relates to what I'm receiving, the guidance that I'm getting from it, and then I always write down what the reader said and any guidance that I receive from the reader themselves. I also enjoy writing down the Spark Notes version on an index card, and especially since there's so many cycles that we work with, I recommend writing down the date that the advice is valid for, and then keeping these index cards by your bed or in a place that you spend in the morning or a place that you frequent so that you can continuously review what the advice is in this subject. So Neptune is the planet that rules our connection to source. So we are going to be in review. Retrogrades always mean review. So it's basically like we're kind of recalibrating, we're kind of readjusting our relationship with our connection to source. So whatever you believe is your source, this connection is asking you to look at it a little bit deeper. We're being invited into a deeper connection to our source and to whatever that means for us. So this is going to be applicable to you regardless of what it is that you believe, regardless of whatever your connection to source is. My intention is always that it aligns with your highest good and the highest good of all, and that it's applicable regardless of whatever belief systems you may hold. It's really meant to help activate your own understanding and knowing within. So if you enjoy this reading, you can always support me financially at PayPal. It's paypal.me/devotedvulnerable. It is not necessary, but it's absolutely appreciated when you guys support me. This is just what I love to do, and it's nice to receive something back, although it is absolutely not necessary. I also do reading recordings that are on my website. You can sign up for those on the website. They're like 30 minutes long, and we dive right into all the advice for you. That's another thing. You don't have to watch this whole video. Only watch the intro and then scroll ahead to the advice that's valid for you. So don't get intimidated by the length of this video. It's not going to be that much information for you. Just watch this intro and then we'll dive into the specifics for you. So the specifics for you are going to line up with where Neptune was in your chart when you were born. That means which astrological sign was the planet Neptune in when you were born. This is the advice that's going to align with you for the advice for this Neptune retrograde. Right now, Neptune is in the planet of, or in the sign of Pisces. So overall, as we review our connection to source, we're going to have this devoted, sensitive, accepting, imaginative, and compassionate energy surrounding us as we dive into this subject. And then we're going to get a little bit more specific about where Neptune was for you and what that means for how your connection to source may be manifesting. And then we're going to get advice from the Faery Oracle deck by Lucy Cavendish and also from the Angel Therapy deck by Doreen. So you are going to look at what's called your tropical chart, how to run your birth chart. There's a link in the description here. You'll need to know your birth time. If you don't know your birth time, there's a tutorial video for how to find your birth time in the description here as well. Once you run the chart on Kathy Astrology, and I recommend saving your chart, all the charts that are run, even scrolling all the way down to the circle chart at the end. It's really cool to have that chart saved too. But you're definitely going to want the tropical and the Placidus charts if you're going to be following my free readings. So you're going to be looking at the chart that is the tropical chart. So here's an example of someone's tropical chart. And you're just going to go down this list to where it says Neptune with a little trident symbol, and you see right next to it in that same row it says Capricorn. So this person would watch for the reading that aligns with Neptune in Capricorn, because that's where Neptune was when they were born. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Okay. I am going to get started here. I'm going to draw the card. So if you're someone who likes to watch how the cards come out, you can go ahead and watch the card drawing. Otherwise, you can at this point just scroll ahead to where whatever alignment was. So you're just going to scroll ahead. If you're watching replay, those of you who are live, you're going to have to be patient. But you can scroll ahead to the alignment that is relevant for you. All right, so let's go back there, and I'm going to get all of the Fairy Oracle deck cards. That's for in Aries. This is going to be for Taurus and Gemini. And now we're looking at, we got Cancer and Leo. So Neptune, this is Neptune in Virgo and Libra. Neptune in Scorpios. There you are. Woo. Neptune in Saggies. We're going to find Neptune in Cappies. There we are. Neptune in Aquarius and Pisces came out together. Okay. And we're also going to get some angel therapy for each one. So this is Aries. This is Taurus. Finding for Neptune in Gemini, Neptune in Cancer and Leo, Neptune in Virgo. Ooh. Let me shuffle that. Okay, Neptune in Libra and Scorpio, Neptune in Saggies, Neptune in Cappies. Ooh, Cappy, Aquarius, and last but not least, let's find our Neptune in Pisces. Where are you? You're right there. Okay, let's dive in. Neptune in Aries, hello and welcome in. So in general, we have the Piscean energy for this Neptune retrograde because it is retrograde in Pisces. However, when it comes to your connection to source, in general, you're generous, optimistic, enthusiastic, courageous, and independent. These are the qualities of the archetype of the Aries energy. So this is the ram. This is like the spark of new life. It's the first fire sign of the zodiac, and it's actually the first sign of the zodiac. So when it comes to your connection to source, just keep this in mind, how when you're connected to source you feel generous, or there's an optimism when it comes to your connection to source, or an enthusiasm when you connect to source. And this doesn't have to be exactly how it is for you. It might manifest in different ways, or you might be out of alignment with your connection to source, and these are some of the ways that you can get back into alignment. There's an independence when it comes to your connection to source. So you may or may not be somebody who likes to connect to source within a group. You may like to have your own unique individual way of connecting to source. And again, whatever source is for you, God, goddess, angels, guardians, ancestors, your higher self, whatever terms you call it. Let's find out what the what the Fairy Oracle wants to say to you. Ooh, beautiful. So this is advice for the entire Neptune retrograde in how you can connect back to source. I love this card. I love the energy of it. You can always pause to soak in the vibration of this message and get whatever guidance is coming through for you. It's number 44, by the way. It's hard to see that number there. All right. So this card represents ley lines, walking meditations, building or walking labyrinths, and journeys to sacred sites. And it says that these are very important to you now. You may wish to travel to lands where the old ways are respected, to explore fairy mounds such as hills such as the Tor in Glastonbury, Newgrange, or Tara in Ireland. You will soon be welcoming friendships made by being true to who you are and being willing to enter the mystery of the song of life. Joyful dance and connection, loving and happy friendships with purpose, traveling companions who inspire bliss on the journey, and this card heralds a beautiful stage of your life journey. So this is a wonderful vibration and card. I love this secret path energy. It says an irresistible pull down a distant path, ley lines, and mystical traditions. So when it comes to your connection to source, a journey in nature is what is calling to you, a journey back to sacred sites, journey to an area that has a lot of special sacred energy to you, that is aligned for you between now and December 3rd. It's really going to help you activate and reimagine your connection to source. This feels like a very auspicious time for you and a very important remembering, a very important reconnecting. And again, remember, the retrograde is like a recalibration. So it's almost like you're kind of like going out into nature to recalibrate with what is calling to you, what the natural world wants to say to you when it comes to connecting with that light within, that origin point, that love from which all of this springs from. This is really important for you to go down this secret natural path, this sacred land. So if you have places that have been calling to you, as I was talking about that, if you like had a few ideas come in, this is what I'm talking about with watching it with a journal. It's really helpful to pause this and capture all of those little inspirations that are coming through for you as we talk about this, because this is how I'm intending that this guidance work for you. I am an intuitive card reader, but I'm not tapping into your guides or your own specific truth. I'm just bringing you a general message which is intended to activate your own truth within you, because ultimately we all get to go back to this source within, this guidance within ourselves. Especially with this Neptune retrograde is a really powerful time for us to tap into that, and my readings are part of that too. These are sacred tools, the cards, that help us to reactivate and reimagine and reconnect with these beautiful knowings that are inside of ourselves. But ultimately it's us that it's our own knowing that we're activating. So again, whatever natural places you were called to, whatever ones come into your space in beautiful synchronistic ways in the next couple months, definitely pay attention to those. Definitely plan a trip if that was something that was on your mind. This is extra special confirmation. If a trip comes up to go to a sacred site, definitely go do it. You don't the fairy mounds, if you're into the fairies, definitely go try out a fairy place. If you're not into the fairies, whatever sacred site is for you, perhaps it's a church, perhaps it's a ancient tradition site, whatever it is for you, go and visit it, because the energy there is going to help activate the connection that you are seeking for that source within. Let's see what the angel therapy deck is bringing through for you. Okay, so here's another advice for you for this Neptune retrograde. It's if you get nervous, focus on service. It says put your entire intention on answering the question, how can I make the world a better place? And the law of attraction will automatically take care of your needs. So this is a beautiful guidance for you too, is as you get nervous in anything, in any area of your life, just focus on service, because it is through this service that you are connecting to your source. I'm being pulled back to the word generous when it comes to how a Neptune in Aries likes to express. This generosity is the service that we're talking about, and it is actually through this service that you are connecting to the guidance within, that you're connecting to your purpose, you're connecting to your source, and you're expressing the energy of your source through this connection. All right, I think that is all that I have for you, my beautiful babies. So what I would do is I would write down, again, if you're doing the index card thing, I would write down, if you get nervous, focus on service, and I would write down the secret path. You can also, if you want to, on those index cards, write down the text that's on the card itself, or write down the service that you are wanting to do, and or the sacred place that you're wanting to explore. And if you get nervous when it comes to traveling, perhaps setting the intention like to link these cards together if you want to. There's this energy of, if you get nervous about traveling to a place, think about the service. Focus on how traveling to these sacred sites is going to help you, is going to help the community, is going to help the world, okay? And then you will be shown through synchronicities, through different life events, through symbols and signs and feelings in your body. You'll be shown what that connection is, and you'll be shown how you can serve by following the secret path. All right, Neptune and Aries, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste. All right, Neptune in Taurus, hello and welcome in. So Neptune was in Taurus when you were born. This means that your connection to Source has the energy of the Taurus, the energy of the bull, which has a loyal, earthly, domestic, determined, and dependable vibration to it. So we are in Pisces with this retrograde, which is a very sensitive, very compassionate vibration. But when you shine most when it comes to your connection with Source, you're going to embody these elements of the Taurus vibration. So it's very likely that being in the earth, being connected to the earth, helps you to connect to Source, like getting your grounding, putting your bare feet on the earth. It's very likely that you bring your connection to Source in your home, that you have some sort of altar or some sort of space where you can honor your connection to Source. And if you don't do these things, this might be an invitation for you to try. We are in a retrograde, which means a recalibration of our connection to Source. These may be areas of your life that you hadn't focused on, or a correlation that you didn't quite make before that you're being invited to make. But let's see what energies and vibrations the cards themselves are guiding us to with this. Ooh, okay, here she is. You can always pause the card to have more time to kind of sit with the vibration and the message. This is number 15. So if the number 15 shows up for you synchronistically, it's a confirmation of this message. If you want to ask the universe or whoever it is you go to for guidance outside of yourself, you can ask that vibration for this, for that confirmation. Okay, stolen in her sleep, unaware, unconscious, and unawakened. The meaning of this card represents being unable to remember your dreams, feeling cut off from your psychic abilities, unsure whether the path you are drawn to follow is safe, feeling scared that you may be entering a dark realm, wishing to go home and to ascend before you have done the deep work on the self. This card is coming to you at a time to indicate that it is time to go deep within, to go into the earth, and to understand that material transformation is spiritual. It is with this understanding that you will learn that your gifts are fully awakened. Wow. So this is, it's almost like it's saying that you've been uncertain of your connection to Source, that you have been afraid of this connection to Source, and you've been actually just wanting to kind of merge with Source again, you know, to ascend, without really taking the time, taking the effort, making the effort to do the inner work, to do the inner healing on a physical way, in like the healing within your family, the healing within your vibration, the healing within whatever's going on for you. It's time to do that healing. It's time to go within, get support with this. Don't just try to do it all yourself unless there's some sort of practice or some sort of book that has just come to you, but definitely dive in to this with a community, because that's going to really support you. And if you're called to work with a practitioner to help facilitate these healings, please do so, because it is very important right now for you to allow yourselves to be taken care of. It's like she's sleeping on these little gnome guys, right? She's like, one got his hand around her here and here, and yeah, it's just this time to kind of wake up from trying to go to sleep. You know, like sometimes we go to sleep so that we don't have to deal with the world, right? Because it feels nicer in the sleep realm. And if that's so for you, it's time to face whatever doesn't feel good in the physical realm, in the awakening world, and bring your dreams, bring that energy of anything is possible to the physical realm. Let's see what the angel therapy advice has for you. Okay. It's wanting you to also work with your sacral chakra. You are highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, processed foods, and energies right now. Respect your sensitivities by avoiding harsh items, situations, and relationships. Okay, so as you are focusing on this physical healing, it's going to take an awareness of your sacral energies, awareness of your sensitivities. The sacral chakra is 2 inches below the belly button. You can work with sacral chakras. I actually would do this every week at least, if not every day, doing a sacral chakra meditation. That's my guidance for you. If that feels good, go for it. If that doesn't feel good, you don't have to. Even when you're working on some project, putting the sacral chakra hertz frequencies in the background to really be supportive. But also what this card is saying is to really evaluate the toxic energies that you're bringing in through situations, through people, through relationships, through the food that you're consuming, the media that you're consuming, the entertainment that you're consuming. All of it is on the chopping block as you are working on this physical healing, because if it's almost like part of what's bringing you down and wanting you to go to sleep are these the sensory overload. It's almost like you're too sensitized, like there's too much sensory energy going on, and your body's like working so hard to clear the toxic energy of like the vibrations around you, the food you're putting into your body, all of that. So it's really hard for you to dive deep into what you really are wanting to heal right now. So as you start making changes to support the sacral chakra, you're also going to be receiving support there. I would also, the sacral chakra rules the creative and sexual sides. So if you've had trauma in your creative or sexual life and expression, this would be a place for you to look at healing as well. Okay, you can wear orange. The color orange is really powerful for healing the sacral chakra. You can also get orange colored gemstones. They're very powerful for healing the sacral chakra. You can actually put them physically on your body, keep them by your bed, keep them in your pocket. But really helping to make that physical shift, seeking this support to help you wake up from this sleep and to help you bring into your consciousness that which you are trying to run from and trying to kind of spiritually bypass. It's time to just face it head on. It's not as scary as you think, I promise. And you have a team. You have a team of energetic support beings, and you have a team of physical beings here on earth. I'm one of those beings. If you've been called to this video, I am. I do have other free readings that you can use for support, and I'm also encouraging you that if there's a therapist that comes into your life, if there's a modality that you get turned on to, dive deeper into those and find a community of people who are exploring those, because that's really going to support you during this Neptune retrograde, which again is until December 3rd. So this is advice for that whole time period. Okay, awesome. If I was writing down index cards, I would write down what is on the card. I would write down both of these things. Hopefully you can read them. My camera's a little blurry right now. But hopefully you can pause it and write it down, or just go back to the part of the video where I read it out loud. Okay. Awesome. So now we are moving on to, well, now we are saying goodbye. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for being here. You are going to be able to wake up from this unconscious sleep and clear those energies from your sacral chakra and experience a magnificent spiritual healing through the physical realm. And through that healing, we didn't even really connect it to your connection to source is blocked by this healing that we haven't been able to do. Okay, so as you start to do this healing, you're going to feel closer and closer to that source. You've been running from this source. It's almost like you feel betrayed by this source, and you don't really trust this source any longer because of what has happened in your life. And as you start to heal that wound, your connection to source will just naturally come back in. All right, Neptune in Taurus, thank you so much for your support, and as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste. All right, Neptune and Gemini, hello and welcome in. So in general, when you are aligned with how you want to connect with source, you're embodying the Gemini archetype. So the Gemini archetype is the twin archetype. It's like seeing both things at once. It has a witty, clever, energetic, adaptable, and imaginative energy. So play with these qualities as you go through this retrograde. You might even want to write these qualities down on an index card for you, because this is how you, this is where Neptune was when you were born. So this is where the energies of your connection to source started and originated from, and this is where it feels best for you to return home to when it comes to connecting with your source. Let's find out what the angel, fairy oracle wants to say to you for this time period. Ooh, interesting. All right. You can spend some time with the card. It's number 19, Fairy Tales, letting go, detachment, and moving on. Yep. Okay, so here's the fairy advice. It says, you will see miracles take place. Remember, we teach others how to treat us, and you have similarly taught yourself what you feel you are worth and taught others to rely too heavily on you. However, it is not too late to change. You are not refusing to save a life, though that is how it looks to your critical self, and perhaps to some others. At the moment, you feel your worth is derived entirely from being of service to others, even when you feel you can no longer go on. You are currently a one-person rescue squad, but until you help yourself to be free of such expectations, you will never be free enough to be of help to others. Resentment, guilt, and anger can leak into the service you are providing. Please contemplate a fresh way of communicating and begin to love yourself and give yourself regular work breaks and time outs. When you begin to respect your contribution, others will too. Please set them all a loving, inspiring example. Wow. So when it comes to your connection to Source, Source is wanting you to connect with yourself on a deeper level. Sometimes when we are so quick to help others, to serve others, to give to others, it's because of this belief, like it was saying, of what we are worth. Like, we're not worthy of this love. We're not worthy of this connection to Source. We're not worthy of this deeper spiritual understanding. And this card is advising you that it's not just through your serving others that you're connecting to Source. It's actually through setting boundaries and through knowing what you're worth, that you're going to reestablish your relationship with yourself and therefore be able to truly feel your relationship to Source. Source does want us to help each other out. Source does want us to be of service to each other, but it's coming at an expense to you, which is kind of like a sneaky way of actually not fully embracing it, right? Because it says, like, when you're not filling your own cup, you actually really can't help others, even though you try. The energy of resentment and anger and pain that you're suppressing is leaking out energetically into the things that you're doing, and it's not helping them and it's not helping you. So the best thing you can do is to walk away. See how she's kind of not holding his hand? She's going to just let him sink. She's going to take her own path and to follow her own Source and to follow her own guidance, to follow her own spirit. Let's see what the fairy angel therapy wants to say. Okay, so here's extra advice on where to focus this change and shift. It's on the throat chakras. It says the angels are helping you lovingly speak your truth. Now, when this says angels, you could replace this word with Source, especially since we are talking about Source. Whatever you think Source is, whether that's God, whether that's a goddess, whether that's an ancestor, your higher self, the universe, whatever. Okay, that energy is helping you right now lovingly speak your truth. So it feels like you might be afraid to let these people down, to let this person sink, to speak of your own needs, of your own connection to Source, of your own, like, even if it's like telling people in your space that you need time to meditate, to connect with your inner being every day. Your throat chakra is being activated so you can communicate these things. And this is how the universe works. Our energetic support beings are always around us, but unless we ask, they can't interfere, because it's a free will universe. So with our intention and asking, please help me lovingly speak my truth, then you can know that these energies are here helping you to lovingly speak your truth. So it's going to be a time period, a cycle for you of learning how to speak your truth, learning how to set your boundaries, learning what taking care of you and saving yourself really means. And as you do that, you're going to be connecting to the Source within. The Source within loves you just as much as it loves everybody else. And it needs you to prioritize yourself just as much as you prioritize everybody else, because there's an imbalance here. And because Source does not want you to be hurting yourself in this way. And they are here, Source is here to help you speak your truth when it comes to this, okay? All right, Neptune in Gemini. I hope you enjoy your Neptune retrograde and you're speaking of your truth and you're coming back into celebrating and honoring what you need. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within me. Namaste. All right, Neptune in Cancer, hello and welcome in. So this is your connection to Source. When your connection to Source is coming home, meaning coming home to where it was when you were born, you express your connection to Source through loyalty, through caring, through emotional energies, through responsiveness and dependability. Let's see what the Faery Oracle has to say about this retrograde as you're learning kind of how to incorporate these qualities in your connection to Source. Ooh, I love this one. Riddle Fisher. So she is number 3. So the number 3 might come to you this time period, this cycle, this Neptune retrograde till December 3rd to really help you. It's about divination, seeking out and finding answers. I love the Riddle Fisher. She's one of my favorite fairies in this deck. I have lots of them, but okay. This card means that it's time to seek out help from the fairy realm to find what is lost. And if you don't believe in fairies, you can just replace this with the source. It's time to reach out to Source. It means recovering lost memories, past life readings, and issues are coming to the surface, going through emotional waters that are deep and knowing it is safe to do so. Right? This is an emotional sign for you. So that makes sense that you're going through emotional waters as your emotional connection to Source is being reviewed. Feeling your feelings and knowing their wisdom is part of what this card is offering you. It represents searching for an answer. Water divining. I don't even know what that is, so go look that up. That sounds fun. Using pendulums and finding clues to quandaries. Just as you are searching for answers, a fairy is searching for your answers too. They love puzzles and will find things and answers and pieces of information for you that will put the jigsaw puzzle into a meaningful picture for you. Come at this time. Allow the fairy to go on the search for you. You may not find the answers you were looking for, but you will find what is right for you. So with all energies, you can choose to work with them or not. If you want to work with the Riddle Fisher, you can call her in simply by asking Free Will Universe. You can do that. Or if you just want to call in the energies of Source, whatever that belief system is to you, I always recommend, especially working with the fairies, making an offering of some kind. They love shiny things. They love milk and honey. They love the natural realm. So going into the natural realm and checking in with them. The Riddle Fisher is such a beautiful vibration, and she really does love puzzles. So there's some puzzle that you are like trying to piece together when it comes to your connection to Source. It does feel like, for me, I was feeling the past life regression energy very strongly for you. So if you meet a past life regressionist or somebody you know is talking about their past life regression, definitely follow through with diving into that further. Or just reading about different cultures that have always appealed to you. But there's something in your past, this life or other, that is wanting to be uncovered right now as it relates to your connection to Source. So it might be in a past life you were like a high priestess and you had a deep connection to the universe, to Source, to all the knowing that is. And you might be remembering and reactivating that this month. Or it could be something more I want to say simple, but could be something different. It could be like more of a connection to nature, like you were a druid and you could breathe the wind through the trees, right? And that was your connection to Source. But this ancient knowing and understanding from a past life or past vibration is part of a puzzle that you're putting together. When it feels like you're putting the puzzle pieces of how you best connect with Source together and uncovering what that means. Let's see what the Angel Therapy deck has to say. Oh my gosh, I freaking love this. Okay, one thing I'm going to show you too is notice the water dripping down here, right? This is in your Cancer, and Neptune's also in Pisces, which is also a water sign, and it's a water planet. So lots of alignments here. Okay, crown chakra. Angel Therapy says, pay attention to your ideas as they are messages of true divine guidance sent in answers to your prayers. Wow, so you're getting your answers through your crown chakra, through ideas that are popping up in your head. through visual things that you're seeing in your head, but also through just ideas that you're getting. So if you think something without knowing why you're thinking it, that is confirmation that is an answer coming to you. You might also want to do crown chakra activation work. You can listen to the crown chakra hertz frequency. You can listen to crown chakra meditations that help you open your crown chakra. But it definitely feels, and see the water running down here, just like in the Riddle Fisher one. And this has a moon in it too. So the full moons might be a very powerful time for you to sit outside or sit in a place where you can see the moon and just stare at it and just let yourself receive some wisdom from the moon, because it feels like you are reactivating this this connection to the moon. The moon's also an emotional sign. You know, Cancer and the moon are linked together. So this is a powerful remembrance for you as you recalibrate to these beautiful energies, and as you really come into a new experience of your new understanding, like a new picture of your connection to source. The puzzle pieces of your connection to source are coming together in a really awesome way this retrograde season for you. Awesome Neptune in Cancer. Well, thank you for tuning in. I hope this was supportive for you. Feel free to comment. Even just writing a comment here can help me. And the algorithms, gotta love those algorithms. And for now, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste. Neptune in Leo, hello and welcome into your reading. So, Neptune was in Leo when you were born. That means, in general, when you feel most connected to your source, there's going to be a Leo, a lion-like quality to this connection. It's going to be dramatic, generous, confident, expressive, and encouraging. So this is really how you feel your connection to source. Maybe you have maybe when you connect to source, it's very encouraging. Maybe you're very confident in your connection, or maybe you don't have these qualities and you're kind of learning through this retrograde period how to reactivate some of these awarenesses and understandings. So let's see what the Fairy Oracle has to say for you. Crystal Magic. I love this card. This is the origin of all. This is like the first fairy before all the fairies. She is the embodiment of source. She's number 21. So you might see the numbers 21 or the number 3 if we add them together, coming in to help support you and guide you with this message. You can ask the source, your guidance, your guide system to show you this. She represents creating the world. She represents the end of chaos. She represents the freedom to choose, singing your own song, freedom of movement, grace and meaningful activity. She represents beginnings to new ventures that are divine. She represents the origins of a new venture, the ability to heal or amplify energy crystals, working with true energy, dance, and movement to express yourself, healing through sound, crystals, dance, and energy, ecstatic movement, dancing as if you are alone, no self-consciousness, no guilt, total bliss in being. So if you know any ecstatic dance groups, definitely go and join them. If you have some sort of singing practice, dance practice, or if you don't, definitely dive into it as we go into this retrograde and as you explore your connection to source deeper, because this card is telling you that movement is part of your connection to source, that free flowing expression of your body, of your being, is integral to your expression to source. Leo is like the party animal of the zodiac, right? And so it's got this party animal vibe. When you connect to source, it's this it's like having a party with source. It's like partying with source kind of vibration. You might also want to be working with crystals. If you are drawn to work with crystals or you have crystals, definitely just spending some time with them, holding them and feeling their vibration, maybe even dancing with them. Sounds like fun. But there's information in the crystals that you have the ability to connect to and access to. Remember, crystals are vibrations that are like literally set into stone. So there is information that's accessible through that vibration when you connect to that energy, when you connect to the source of the stone, that vibrational quality that creates the shape and the colors and all of that good stuff. Let's also see what the Angel Therapy deck has to say for you. Okay. I kind of love the vibration of this. See how her arms are like out, right? And flowing and dancing, and her arms are kind of out and flowing and dancing too. The energies here feel very similar. So this card says, clear yourself. Ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. So this is very important when it comes to working with source, when it comes to feeling into the into your own body, into the movements, is moving out the energies that are not yours, right? So I would look up or develop or feel into some sort of practice where you're literally moving the energies away and you're clearing your body with your physical being. And you can clear yourself with gemstones too, because of the crystal magic. With some crystals are very clearing and cleansing, like selenite is a very powerful cleansing, clearing energy. There's lots of them that do that, but that's the one that came to me at this moment. But having a practice to clear yourself, and I'm almost hearing like clear yourself every day, because you want to go back to the source. You want to go back to the newness, the origins. And as you start to like absorb other people's energies, you can you know, like a brand new baby doesn't have any attachments to anything, right? It's brand new, bright-eyed, and just kind of experiencing life, right? And then as the child learns, they kind of get these programs and these beliefs, and they get less innocent, right? So it's like a return to your innocence by clearing your vibration. And you can ask your source or whoever you talk to. It doesn't have to be the angels if you don't believe in angels, but these unconditionally loving energies just need our permission to ask them for help, and they will come in and help us. So every day, if you want to ask the angels to help clear you, I would write this down on an index card perhaps, and remember every day as you review it to clear yourself in that moment, just to ask for it, just to breathe into that, and then dance as much as you can and work with the crystals. All of these things are going to help you connect to your source, to the vibration of source, to the knowing of source. Okay? Alrighty. That's all I have for you, my beautiful Neptune in Leo. I hope you have a wonderful retrograde season. And as always, namaste. The universal light in me salutes and honors the universal light in you. Namaste. Hello, Neptune in Virgo. Neptune was in Virgo when you were born, meaning that when it comes to your connection to source, you're going to feel most aligned, most supportive, most connected when you are helpful, precise, reliable, analytical, and observant in your connection to your source. Now, whatever that means for you is going to be individualized. You may want to write down these qualities, and as we review our connection to source, you can see maybe how you can embody this Virgo archetype into this vibration. And let's see what the Fairy Oracle has to say for you. Stardust. So it's number 35. It says premonition, galactic communication, and recognizing endings and beginnings. Woo! Powerful one, Virgo. Neptune in Virgo. All right, let's see what she has to say. If you see the numbers 35 showing up or the number 8 showing up in your life, it could be a confirmation for that. You can ask this free will universe to show you that number as confirmation of this to help guide you. Here are some of the meanings of this card that are bringing forth for you right now. Okay. Oh no, that's a different one. I was gonna say, that doesn't seem aligned. Okay. This card can signify a return to source. Hello. And sense of needing to rewrite the soul contract, changing and moving into a new stage of life and a new incarnation. In order to make sense of these feelings, you may need to be alone and in the dark to work something out. Receiving messages clearly and strongly, yet you're hesitant to act on them. That's part of what this card is representing for you. It also represents waiting patiently for more information. Seeking connection in the night sky. When we see other constellations and galaxies, understanding our own stardust and self and origins. It represents thinking a great deal about off-Earth matters, about life in the universe, and wondering whether there are galactic beings connecting with you. Visions and dreams of these beings and off-world communities and civilizations, light being connections, ascended master connections, clues as to what will happen, but lacking absolute clarity means you are feeling you must pin it down to follow your instinct. Wow. Clues as to what will happen, but lacking absolute clarity means you are feeling, you must pin it down to follow your instinct. Okay. Wow. There's a lot in there. So first thing that popped into my head to really talk about and mention that if you have the subscription service Gaia, it's like spiritual Netflix. It's amazing. I absolutely recommend it. I don't have any other subscription service. There is a interview series on there called Interview with Ed, which is interview with extra dimensionals. It's fabulous. It's really fascinating stuff. This card is definitely calling you to that kind of work. If you're called to connect with the energies that possibly might be out there, this is part of this month, this review for you, this season of Neptune retrograde. You're reviewing your connection to source. You're kind of going back to your origins. You're wondering about where you came from, the star systems that you may have came from. I would, if that feels safe and supportive and exciting to you, definitely dive into that further. Like I said, Interviews with Ed is like the most powerful place I can refer to you. I think Gaia has like a free 3-month subscription too. I don't know, you have to check that out, but it's worth diving into if this is what this is calling you to. It's also just about having this psychic sense, right? Having this premonition. It also said going into the dark to kind of sort things out. So if you're kind of overwhelmed with things, definitely taking time to yourself, definitely spending some time outside at night and feeling and hearing, like spending time outside under the stars, just staring at the stars, letting the stars speak to your soul, letting the source of the light of the stars communicate with the source of the light within you. Those are all the things that I'm feeling with this card for you. Let's see what the angel therapy advice is. This is very interesting. Be willing to forgive. It says, ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. So again, this is a free will universe. We do have to ask for things to be, for us to receive things, for the energetic support beings to help you. And whether you believe in angels or not, you can still ask whatever you do believe in to help you with this. If angels aren't your thing, that's totally fine. Even if fairies aren't your thing, that's fine. Again, this is universal advice, regardless of your beliefs. But there is past pain, which you are carrying onto, that needs to be forgiven. And as you do, you're going to return kind of to this origin point, beginnings and, what does it say? Beginnings and endings. So there's definitely like this end to whatever you've been holding on to. And it's going to help you connect back to your source. It's going to help you connect back to your compassion within. Just tapping in to see if there's any more guidance for you here. Yeah, it's releasing past pain in exchange for peacefulness. Forgiveness is never about condoning what somebody has done, but it is about not bringing that heavy suitcase that weighs you down along with you for the ride, okay? It's about the peacefulness that leaving that suitcase behind can offer you. And you're also going to find this connection in the stars. It's interesting because I almost read a different card for this, right? And that card, the first thing that it said, I'll just read you the first sentence. You must conduct a forgiveness ceremony as sincerely as you can in order to not recreate a situation that has previously hurt you. Okay, like that was the first sentence that I read, and I was like, oh, that's not this card. But with this energy here, I think you might need to conduct a forgiveness ceremony, working with the energy of the moon, working with the energy of the stars, working with your own zodiac, your own other energies and cycles that are in play. Go check out the eclipse readings. They're valid for a year. Go check out the new moon reading. Go check out the solar season reading. We're in Cancer right now. Cancer is a very emotional energy, so it's a good energy to forgive. Yeah. And be willing to explore stellar connections, a past life connection that might be more connected to star family than to earth family. Okay, that's really helping. That's what you're being called to connect with right now. Interesting. Okay, that is all I have for you, my beautiful Virgo, Neptune and Virgos. Thank you so much. As always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste. Hello, Neptune in Libras. Welcome in. So, when you were born, your connection to Source was lit up by Libra energy, which is the scale energy, which is the balancing beauty energy. It represents gracefulness, peacefulness, idealism, hospitality, and diplomacy. So this is the vibration where you feel most connected to Source, when you're able to embody these qualities. And it may be something that you've experienced before or not, but as Neptune is in retrograde, I would write down these qualities and see how you really can embody them more. See how you're called to embody them more when it comes to your connection to Source. Let's get specific here with advice from the cards for you. Ooh, I love this one. Dragon's Pet. Okay, it's number 42. My lighting here is a little not great. Sorry about that. Okay. So it's number 42, so you can ask the universe to show you number 42 to help confirm this message. It says communication between species, animals, pets, magical companions, and guardianship. So this fairy is this dragon's pet. That's the meaning of this card, and I love that. I love that message. This card indicates that you have watchdog energy around you. A pet, animal, or plant ally is relaying information to you. Please tune in and listen to what is being shared with you. Your connection to Source is coming through a pet right now, and an energy companion, we'll call it. So it could be animal or plant, or it could be plant as well. You will know when the energy is changing around the borders of what you call your home or land, in time to take positive and perfect action. A dog may bark at a person or being it doesn't trust, for example. A plant may wither around after a certain being has visited. All of these are strong messages from your companions and allies, and the fairies communicate with them all the time. If you wish to connect with the Fae, your companions are just one of the first sources you may turn to deepen and strengthen that connection, for they already have it and are willing to share those messages with you. This card also represents boundaries. Setting boundaries also represents receptivity, and messages from the animal or magical world are flying between you and the Fae. So even if you don't believe in fairies, this message is that you are receiving communication from the energy beings around you, listening to them. This is actually going to help you connect to Source. Your connection to Source is in this connection to the animals, is in listening to it, feeling it, understanding it. Let's see what other message you got. Well, here is a powerful message for you too. Heal away addictions. It is time for you to let go of behaviors that are blocking you from your heart's desires. Yes, let go of behaviors blocking you from your heart's desires. It says, ask Archangel Raphael to help you with this healing. You can ask whatever energies you work with for healing. It doesn't have to be Raphael, but if you're open to working with him, you can certainly call him in. He's a beautiful healing vibration. But we're letting go of behaviors that are blocking us from our heart's desires. And it feels like to me, because of this Dragon's Pet card, that you might also be receiving communication from your pets. Like, I had an animal who reacted really strongly to whenever I would smoke. And that animal kind of was cluing me into, like, they would get like really squirrely and really crazy and just run around all the place, you know. And they were communicating to me, and I wasn't really listening, that there was an unhealthy behavior here that was keeping me from my heart's desires. So I would specifically listen to the information that you're getting from these animal companions around you, these plants around you, these even wildlife animals. They are cluing you into and all information, but specifically to your addictions and helping to bring you to the surface. Like, even if you're like on your phone and an animal like tries to like get in between you and your phone, it might be that you have an addiction to your phone, right? Be aware of these kinds of signs and symbols this season, this Neptune retrograde season, because these addictions, these behaviors are keeping you from connecting to your source. And as you start to listen to these messages, you're going to be able to start to hear the messages from Source clearer as well. It's like kind of like these animals are like the messengers from Source, right? To kind of guide you back to Source. And the addictions are keeping you from Source. So healing those is what you're being invited to. So as you review your connection to source, you're also going to be reviewing the things that keep you from your connection to source. And this card is calling you out. There's some sort of addiction. There's some sort of pattern. There's some sort of behavior that's keeping you from your heart's desires. That's keeping you from your connection to source. And you can bet that your plant and animal friends are going to show you where this addiction is very clearly. Even sometimes if your pet gets hurt, and it has like some sort of injury, look up. Louise Hay has a book called You Can Heal Your Life. It's an amazing book. I actually have it if you have questions on any certain physical phenomenon. But sometimes our pets will take on an illness to help bring our awareness to something. So like, for example, like kidney stones. I had a kidney stone, and so I know that it represents repressed anger. So if your pet is getting a kidney stone, there could be repressed anger within you that pet is absorbing to help bring your awareness and your attention to it. Okay, so be aware of any illnesses that your pets are experiencing as well, because and go find out what the energetic cause is. You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. It's an amazing book. I highly recommend it to everybody. And it has like a diagram in there, like what the issue is, what the energy is behind it. They're communicating to you through these messages as well. Reach out if you have any questions about that, okay? Neptune in Libra. I'm sending you so much love for this Neptune in retrograde time period till December 3rd. Sending you support in healing away those addictions. If you need to call in extra support, like from a therapist or from a support group, definitely go ahead and do that. It will serve you very much. And your plant and animal friends will be happy too. And as always, namaste, the universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste. Alrighty, so, oops, I transitioned without transitioning. Hello, Neptune in Scorpio. Welcome into your reading. So if Neptune was in Scorpio when you were born, this means when it comes to your connection with Source, you feel most at home when you're dynamic, observant, unyielding, passionate, and resourceful in your connection to Source. You represent, with this connection to your Source, the Scorpion archetype, this energy of diving deep into the desert to find the sand. Scorpion is a water sign, but it has to go deep down into the sand to find the water. Excuse me. And so that's kind of you. You like to dive deep into things. You like to dive deep into your connection to Source when it's most aligned for you. So I would write down these words on an index card perhaps and review them this retrograde period to see how you might be able to embody these qualities, how you're called to embody these qualities. Don't force anything, but however you're called to embody these qualities when it comes to your connection to Source. Let's see what the Faery Oracle deck has to say for you. Ooh. Keeper of Secrets. Sorry, my lighting's a little... Okay, well, she is number 37. And the reason I have the side camera is so you guys can see things better, and then when I have a glare, it just really annoys me because I can't see it better. Okay. It says, use your discernment, confide in a trusted friend, keep silent about knowledge. So this card represents, this card means that you are learning to treat something carefully and with wisdom. It represents deciding to share your own experiences and thoughts, and that is an important step in knowledge. For when you squander your own precious thoughts upon those who cannot understand you, you are allowing your own precious magic to be diminished and diluted. You are learning to trust, who to trust with deeper and more sacred moments of your life, your magics, and who to stay quiet with. Learning the value of hard-won crafting is represented by this card, as opposed to the fiery genius of initial ideas, and enjoying the process of the in-between times without talking too much of them. Observing the 90-10 rule. Do 90%, speak 10. This way, your dreams and magics will live and breathe in life indeed. Be steady and quietly strong in the course of your love, rather than impulsive and thus wasting your magics. So much of the magic is made by turning up and crafting something, simply by doing the work. So it's hard to convince people of that, and it doesn't make the magic any less for it. Wow! There's a lot in there. But what I'm really feeling most called to share with you is that as you connect to source, it's almost like don't talk about your connection to source. Whatever you're doing to connect with source, whatever communications you're having with source, keep it to yourself, or keep it to those who have proved they're worthy. Not everyone is going to understand, and not everyone needs to understand your connection to source, what you're developing, what you're learning, what you're recalibrating during this retrograde period. That's for you to know, and for the world to be curious about and to ask about, but not for you to just spill out. Okay, let's see what the angel therapy advice is. Okay. So the angel therapy card is, have you asked your angels for help with this? It says, your angels want to help you with this situation. However, they require your permission before they can intervene in your free will choices. Wow. Okay, so there's two ways I'm going to read this card. One is in relationship to this keeper of secrets. So if you're having trouble keeping secrets, you can ask the angels to help you with that. And if you are looking to deepen your connection to source and you're having trouble with that, then you can ask your angels to help you with that as well. Usually when I work, well, not usually, but one of the things I do when I work with my support team, and you can believe in angels or not, you can still use the energy of your support team regardless of whether you believe it's an angel or some sort of other energy or entity. I just always recommend working with those that are based in unconditional love, and all you have to do is ask for that, and that will that intention will be clear. Okay, but you can ask for a sign. So like if you want to see a sign that when it's not aligned for you to talk to somebody, you can actually ask the angels to make you cough anytime you're going to say something to somebody that would be a waste of your magic. Okay, or sneeze, or feel a cold chill, or whatever it is that you want to use as a sign. You can also ask for like another sign, like show me a pineapple. Okay, that was the first thing that came into my head. So you just basically they show me a, then you think whatever first object you think of, you say that to show me who is aligned for me to confide in, right? You can ask for it to be shown 3 times in relationship to that person so that you're really, really clear. But they're asking you to ask them for support, because as you're learning to connect with source, as you're deepening it, as you're learning who to trust and not to trust, they're wanting to work deeper with you. Source is wanting to work deeper with you, and it just needs your permission to activate that relationship deeper. Okay, Neptune and Scorpio? That's all I have for you. I hope you enjoy your retrograde season. You can write these things down on a card if you want to review that every day, or just every week, or just whenever you feel called to keep you on track until December 3rd. I hope that helps. Reach out if you have questions, and as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste. All right, Neptune in Saggies, hello and welcome into your part of the reading. So Neptune was in Sagittarius when you were born, meaning that when it comes to your connection with Source, you have this very Sagittarian archetype. They're the energy of the archer, the centaur. They're dreamers, they're likable, they're optimistic, they're intellectual, and they're independent. So I would encourage you to review how these qualities are playing out, or could better play out in your life when it comes to your connection with Source, as well as whatever advice is coming through here from the angel, from the fairies and the angels. So Fairy deck wants to talk to you about the unicorn and the maiden. It's number 16. No, it's number 10. I apologize. So you might see the number 10 as confirmation of this message. If you can ask for that confirmation as well. It says communication with unicorn, purification, and undercover action. The unicorn is a symbol of ancient magic's rising and purification of the earth and the etheric realms taking place. The maiden and the unicorn standing together indicate you are receiving communications about detoxifying, clearing your environment, and following your life's path, and being a peaceful activist for change. The doors between worlds for you are growing wider and wider. More and more is coming through for you. Know that you have a purpose, which is in the moment now to help the environment. You are a peaceful being, sensitive and yet so very strong and powerful. Keep some of your work secret. Do not try to attract attention. The new children who are becoming adults now are aided in their life's purpose by the unicorn. It is time to protect and help something precious and threatened to survive. Bless your food and water to ingest healing unicorn energy. there's a lot in there. I would write down the things that you were getting pings on, like, oh, that feels really important for me. Working with the environment, helping to protect something sacred, not talking a lot about it, blessing your water and your food before you eat it. Yeah, all of this is your connection to source. You're very connected to the environment. Part of your connection to source has to do with the natural world. And it's about being a peaceful activist for change. So it's more about what I read that to mean is it's about creating the new instead of trying to dismantle the old. Okay? We can push against the old all we want, but that actually feeds it energetically. So if we just build the new, then the old doesn't have anything to sustain itself off of. It starves and it has to go away. So building the new when it comes to what you want to see in the world, taking those actions, those are going to help you connect to source. Wow, this is amazing. You got 2 unicorns. I'm getting chills right here. Unicorns are powerful for you. I don't know if you can see the horn on this guy, but it's right here. Can't really see that. That's incredible. I can see it. Oh, interesting. Power animal is your card here. I'm just going to try to get it closer so you can see the horn. Maybe not. See it? There. Oh my gosh. So your animal spirit guide is a guardian to you and is helping you with a situation. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So yeah, you're being guided and supported by an animal in your space, a sacred animal in your life. Like if you have a dog that you go out and walk a certain natural path with, they're going to help you in this work that you're doing, this energetic healing that you are offering, this environmental healing that you're offering. There's some sort of animal that's helping you with this as well. So pay attention to what animals show up in your dreams, what animals show up in your physical space. Ted Andrews' Animals Speak is a great book to understand the messages that the wild realm, the wild animals are providing to us. But yeah, just this double unicorn message, I would definitely connect to the unicorns. I actually have a meditation. It's a silly meditation on my YouTube channel for encountering a unicorn. So I recommend looking that up because you got 2 unicorns here. Definitely unicorn energy is powerful for you. Drawing unicorns, talking about unicorns, researching unicorns or unicorn lore, right? Definitely a message there for you for that, and just for knowing that you have an animal guide, and paying attention to the messages that are coming through from that guide is going to guide you back to this maiden and the unicorn, which is this this purification energy and this protecting something that's innocent from these protecting energy. All of this is helping you connect to source. It's a very playful connection to source. It's almost like, you know, the Sagittarian archetypes, like the dreamer, right? So it's like, of course it's in the mystical realm, right? Mythical creatures, that are coming through right now to support you in your connection. All right, Neptune and Sagittarius, that was a fun, reading for you. I'm just trying to tap in and see if there's anything else here. Yeah, you got a powerful animal being helping you with spirit. Go listen to that unicorn meditation if you're called. Whatever it is that's innocent that you feel like needs protecting, build a new world for it instead of trying to take down the old world that you feel is suppressing it, okay? And that's all to help you connect with the source, the light within you that's guiding you. All right, as always, namaste. The universal light in me salutes and honors the universal light in you. Namaste. Neptune in Cappies, welcome in. So this is my alignment as well. Welcome into our reading. Our connection to source is most aligned when we are patient, and ambitious, determined, responsible, and resourceful. So the archetype of the Capricorn is this like mountain sea goat, taking one step at a time to achieve its goals, and it's the energy of the last expression of Earth. So we are very practical when it comes to our connection to source. We have to be very patient, but also very ambitious, like setting a goal and going for it and achieving it. So as this retrograde progresses, really think to yourself, how can I be more patient with my connection to source? How can I be more ambitious, determined, responsible, and resourceful? See how that plays out. And for you, here is your message for how to help you connect with source during this retrograde. We got the Faery Wishing Well, which is number 7 in the deck. So you might see number 7 show up to help you confirm this message. This card is a card which demonstrates that we have mastered the ability of making money in some respects. We have learned of its ability to affect family, prestige, and standing. We have allowed it to come into our life, and we have seen the impact it can have. But have we learned to allow it to flow like the waters of the well, and to trust that all of our needs are divinely taken care of? This card, while showing us that creating money is definitely something we are working at mastering, reminds us that as we may get caught up in that process and forget that we may get caught up in that process and forget to an extent about source, which is ourselves and our connection with God. Is the magical circle of your coin ignited spiritually as well as materially? What is it that you are creating with your prosperity? Ponder these questions without judgment and love being connected to both source and the outcome. Wow. So I've received this card before, but this is a different part of the deck that I'm reading, the book that I'm reading. And how powerful is this? Like, one of the affirmations that I've really been working on lately is source, God, whatever you call, source, I give to you my debts and I give to you my wealth. So I want to spend my wealth in a way that serves you as well. So this energy is talking about you have the manifestation ability, you are calling in those resources, but to be very clear about using them with source. That as you connect, it's almost like your connection to source has been taken away because it's too material gained, right? This ambitious Capricorn has forgotten why he's trying to get these monies anyway. These monies are for connecting the source. In the other part of this book, it does talk about how to make wishes and 4 steps to help your wishes. Okay, because the Faery Wishing Well, she's overburdened by a lot of wishes, so these are the things you can do with your wishes to help her so that she's not overburdened. It says, breathe not a word of your wish to harsh or critical people. Nurture your wish with practical steps every day. Be taking steps to get yourself ready. So like if you're manifesting a move, go through your drawers and your closets and get rid of stuff that you would get rid of if you were moving anyway. Okay, like do that proactively. Face your fears and release them. So realize that you might feel unworthy of receiving your wish. Face those fears of unworthiness and work through them prior to the wish coming true. And be ready for your wish to be granted. So go out in the world as though it's already a thing. Let's see what the Angel Therapy deck wants to say. Ooh, hello. I love this. This is so beautiful. Earth Angel, you are a light worker who has come to Earth to teach about love. So as the money comes in, remember this Earth Angel vibration. Remember that you are here to teach about love. That's really why you're here. That's really the importance about this. The seeking of the material realm is less important than the love that you came here to teach. And yes, finances may be able to help you in that, but if you're so focused on that you've lost your connection to source, remembering your Earth Angel nature is going to help you reconnect to source. I feel like that's like the big message here is as you recalibrate and focus on your mission to teach about love on this earth and what that means for you, and you focus more on that than you do on the finances, the resources will come and help you to just help you to naturally be able to do that, but without so much emphasis and focus on, like, don't make the money your God, right? Don't make the money your reason for not trusting source. Don't make the money anything more than a facilitating tool to help you teach the love that you came here to teach. Wow, powerful message. Beautiful, beautiful retrograde vibration and energy. I'm sending you so much love and light. That's what my spiritual mentor says. Love and light and everything right. She's so sweet. Okay. But yeah, I am sending you love and light and good wishes for your utilizing the finances that are coming to you. Trust that they're coming to you, and remember that it's more important for you to teach about love and that to embrace your light worker vibration than it is for you to be the wealthiest person in the world. Okay? As always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste. Hello, Neptune in Aquarius. This means Neptune was in Aquarius when you were born. This represents your connection to Source. This means you are, when it comes to your connection to Source, you are clever, original, inventive, rebellious, and humanitarian. Let's find out what the fairies have to say to you. Ooh, when it comes to your connection. Just before I flip over this card for you, you might want to write down these words on an index card or somewhere, like a post-it note, and question and review and explore this month. And this solar season, solar season, this retrograde season from June 28th to December 3rd. Explore how you might be able to utilize these qualities of the Aquarian archetype, the water bringer. You know, the air brings the water around the planet. So that's the energy of the Aquarian vibration. So how can you embody these qualities to your connection with Source, to embrace your connection to Source deeper? And here is your fairy oracle advice. Yes, I love it. Merlin's coming through, number 33. I love he's got the little angels around him giving him guidance. And it says guidance, mentorship, teacher of the old ways. So you might see the numbers 33 to confirm this message for you and guide you this retrograde season. It says, as Merlin is a bard, you may be drawn to remembering and telling stories and tales of your own life at this time. As he is a wizard, high magics will attract you. As he is a guide, you will find a mentor and become a mentor in your own time. As he is a keeper of natural laws, you will find you are living in tune with magical cycles. As you begin to read and know the messages for a time with such clarity that may shock others, even yourself. And you will begin to read and know the messages for a time with such clarity that you may shock others, even yourself. Growing older need be no block to wisdom, for you will not grow feeble or dottery. You will know what is wise and what is not, and the difference between what is worth your time and what will not shine out. It says, and what is not, there we go. Sorry. You will know what is wise and what is not, and the difference between what is worth your time and what is not will shine out in sharp relief. Clear, strong messages and a male mentor with Merlin energy may be coming into your life at this time. Trust the messages that begin to come to you, and know you are a blending of both worlds. Hearing voices of stones, plants, water, and sky at this time is aligned for you. Seeing forms within nature and human forms, as that is how they can best talk to you at this time. Feelings of shape-shifting, merging into that which you are most connected to. This is true and deep druid wisdom that is strongly connected and loved by the fairy realms. Scrying will work well for you, and consider finding a staff. Take long walks to conduct and receive your readings and messages. Remember, Merlin is a bard and that he will often speak with you in riddles and rhyme. Wow. Wow, so your connection to Source is kind of embodying you with all of these Merlin magical energies. I love the message of finding a staff. Go out in nature, go out on a path, find a staff and walk around. Go on a beach, find a piece of driftwood. But definitely allow yourself to receive these messages, to give these messages, to find this mentor energy, because that is, all of this is igniting your connection to Source. He's got a crystal ball here too. Oh, that's probably the top of his staff. Wow. Neptune and Aquarians, you guys are like, okay. Your angel therapy card is third eye chakra. It is safe for you to see the energy of love in all of its forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. So I was kind of like holding myself back on this card because, you know, this is a very magical energy. It's a very psychic energy. But with this third eye chakra card, I'm like, well, I have to go there. Like, that is what this energy is saying. Even the deep blues, right, from this card to this card are freaking magical. There is so much wanting to unlock for you. I definitely recommend third eye chakra meditations. I would go research Merlin if this was my reading. It's not, unfortunately. I would go get a staff. I would go out in nature, go into a meditation practice where you try to connect with these energies. But yeah, you are able to see and connect to these energies, these auras, and these visions. You are very psychic at this time. As you review your connection to source is innate within you and is coming through your third eye, your psychic abilities, your psychic centers. There's clairaudience, meaning hearing. There's clairsentience, meaning knowing. There's clairsentience, meaning feeling. There's claircognizance, meaning knowing. There's clairvoyance, meaning seeing. There are lots of clairs, okay? Allow yourself to tap into this. You are powerful. Your connection to source is coming through very strongly. Your connection to all there is lit up right now. And it's asking you to dive deeper into it. It's asking you to be the magical seer and receiver of knowledge that you are. Yeah. Third eye chakra meditations. Listen to the third eye chakra hertz frequency. Put gemstones on your third eye, the ones that are aligned with it. So indigo colored ones. You can also use amethyst and or lapis lazuli. Wow. Neptune in Aquarius, I'm like overwhelmed by this reading for you. I'm excited for you. Don't be afraid of these. You can always ask the universe to help you and support you with these vibrations. You can just say, beings of unconditional love, I ask you to come in and help support me in this activation of my third eye. Let me know where it is aligned for me to share my knowledge, how it's aligned for me to share my knowledge, and go forth seeing angels, auras, and visions. I'm so excited for you. Thank you. We need your visions. We need this wisdom brought in through you, and this connection to source that you have is helping us all. So thank you for embodying that for us all. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste. And last but not least, Neptune in Pisces. Hello, y'all. How you doing? Welcome into your reading. So Neptune is in your sign. So this is, Neptune is in Pisces right now. So this is a very potent time for you. It's very aligned for you to be this devoted, sensitive, accepting, imaginative, compassionate energy while you connect to source. Pisces is the archetype of the fish. So that means the fish are swimming around each other, representing the beginning and the end. Here is the advice for your connection to source, mother and daughter, number 41. So let's see what she's got going on here. This card represents mothering, teaching, sharing knowledge, and nurturing self-worth. Time to spend an afternoon with your parents or children, to take them somewhere natural and teach them gently the ways of the fairy world. Do this through connection with the earth and what springs from her, the sky and what flies through her, the seas and what swims beneath, and the fiery sun and what grows from her power. Yes, indeed, the sun is a goddess too. Think of Grain, the Irish dragon fae, goddess of solar energy. It didn't say Grain. Grian? G-R-I-A-N. I've never heard of that. Think about how to teach your children how to be themselves, offering opportunities for natural wisdom to be learned. Offer to spend time with children teaching meditation, flower lore, nature loving, and animal wisdom. Let your mother and father know you think of them and care for them, and thank them for their teachings in whatever form they came. Love your children and know you are their most important teacher ever. Wow. So your connection to source is tied into your connection with your family, connection with your parents, and connection with your children. If you have children, or connection with the children in your family or the children in your space. And Angel Therapy wants to say, visualize success. See yourself doing well in this situation and have faith in a positive outcome, especially when it comes to children, but also when it comes to your connection to source. You're going to see she's out in nature. She's experiencing the beauty of the fruit. And yeah, this is where you're being guided to be in the outdoors, engaging with the natural world, teaching children about the natural world, either your children or other people's children, and visualize success when it comes to this teaching, visualize success when it comes to your connection to source, and know you are very loved, very supported. Also, sometimes our relationship with our parents can be strained because we wanted them to be like the perfect mother and father, and they never could have been that for us. So reimagining your relationship with source, the perfect mother and father, that's source energy. So as you heal your relationship with your biological parents or the caregivers that were in your life, you can actually receive this support in in repairing that relationship that you have with them. You expected them to be the perfect mother and father, where Source is the perfect mother and father. You can always develop your relationship with your mother and father, that is Source, in a deeper way. Source is perfectly loving. Source is perfectly nurturing. Source is perfectly protecting. And so it's like a healing of that physical relationship of parents, but also healing with your relationship to Source, because sometimes we associate with Source the same relationship that we have with our parents, and that's not the case. Our Source is a way different relationship. And yeah, just visualize success when it comes to working with children, working with the natural world, forgiving your parents, and connecting to Source. Enjoy your retrograde Neptune in Pisces. That's all I have for you. Thank you for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors that universal light within you. Namaste. All right, here's what it looks like. Thank you guys so much for joining. Enjoy your retrograde period. Peace out.